Greetings from Gary, Indiana. I'm Sam Love. I'm the editor of the Gary Anthology, which will be out on Belt Publishing this September. I'm also a part of the Indiana On-Ramp 2019-2020 cohort, which is through the Indiana Arts Commission, and I'm an Individual Advancement Program grant recipient. I've created a new series of short videos I'm calling Nature and Home. It explores all the different ways that you can learn about nature in the immediate area. Today I'm going to look for 2 useful invasive volunteers. Now what I mean by that, first of all, I use these plants frequently. Second of all, they're not native to this area. And finally, they volunteered, which means I didn't intentionally plant them. The first one is called Mullen. You've probably seen it growing by the roadside. The other one is called Plantain, but I'm going to use its scientific name, Plantago, so you don't think I'm talking about cooking bananas. I had a nickel for every time my wife made that joke. Probably have about $26 by this point. Well, let's get to it. Well, here's some Plantago. This is the ribwort variety. You can also call it narrow leaf. As you can see, it has a narrow leaf, and it's got that rib texture to it for everybody's pleasure. Well, I've found that this plant is great to deal with mosquito bites. I'm highly sensitive to mosquito bites, and ever since learning about this one, using it, I found that it cures the irritation and the itch better than any medicine I would get at a drugstore. So what you do is harvest it, clean it off, put it in your mouth, chew it up, get it real full of spit, take it out of your mouth and rub it on the affected area. I became a believer. I remember I was in Michigan City at Washington Park. I was walking around with my wife. I had my boots on that day, and I had a horrible mosquito bite in between 2 of my toes. It was just driving me crazy. So I found some in the park. I cleaned it off because, God only knows, some dog pissed on it or some human pissed on it or something. Cleaned it off real good, chewed it up, made that spit poultice, got that boot and sock off, rubbed it in, gave it about 5 minutes, and yeah, I was fine for the rest of the day. So I found this stuff works. Let me know if it works for you. This is growing on the easement where we park our car, so I will definitely not be using this. But yeah, this stuff will grow just about anywhere. This is the broadleaf variety. Look what we got here. We got a baby mullen. So here's one I am really excited to have in my yard. This is mullen. It's a biennial. It's in its first year here, so it's going to grow this rosette of soft furry leaves. And then next year, if it survives, it'll shoot up a flower stalk. This is another non-native plant. A lot of people consider it an invasive, spend a lot of money to eradicate it from natural areas, but I'm so happy to have this in my backyard. I find this to be a very useful plant in a lot of different ways, but I find it most useful for any type of respiratory discomfort I might be having. So I think it makes a great tea with mint, very soothing, great taste. You can dry it and smoke it, that works too. You're gonna cough a lot, but it will clear you out. And the flowers, you can mix those with sugar, let it sit in the sun, and you'll get a good cough syrup out of that. So I'm excited. I'm gonna clear this area out of the grass really carefully and just let this one grow.
A weed is a plant growing in a place where you don't want it to grow. And in the case of this plantain and mullen, I'm really happy to have them in my yard, and I'm going to be using them a lot. So these aren't weeds to me. Hey, quick disclaimer before I go. If these plants or any of the plants I discuss in this series are unfamiliar to you, then study up before you go out and use them. Okay, I'll be back with another episode of Nature and Home soon. You take care. All right, you can check me out on Twitter at Gary Area, find me on Instagram at Samuel A. Love, and at Facebook at SamLove219.